All right, so basically what I'm going to do here today, I'm going to go through a presentation about how to use Facebook to drive revenues, referrals, and brand positioning. But before I get into any content, I just want to share a story about Matt. So on the ride over, so it's different than the dying with the cheeseburger thing. So on the way over, he picks me up. He's got this cube car, which is like my arch nemesis of vehicles. And so, he picks me up at the airport. And as we're driving, I learned something about Matt that I never knew. And I don't know if any of you guys here even know. But Matt is literally Oprah's #1 fan. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. We're talking the #1 fan in life. And so we're driving, and he's going on and on about Oprah and how much he loves her and her show and the OWN network. And he's got this new T-shirt, and it's like a Snuggie, but it has her it's weird, but so anyway, I'm kidding about that. But he's talking about how he went to one of Oprah's events, and he talked about her stage presence and things. And I'm like brand new to speaking and stuff, and I'm just kind of learning as I go. I just kind of wing it a little bit. And he talked about she always goes to when she was in Vancouver, she spent I don't know, like a quarter of her time, the entire presentation, talking about Vancouver to build rapport, I guess. So anyway, I'm going to use that strategy because Matt loves Oprah so much. I'm going to share a Vancouver story because this is my second time here. And the first time I was about a month and a half ago. And I went to Whistler. Anyone from Whistler live up in Whistler? Whistler's amazing. All right. It was awesome. Snowing. It was a blast. And then I came back here to downtown. A friend brought me to, I think it was called Yaletown. And we went to a place called the Dark Table. Anyone ever been to the Dark Table? All right, so the Dark Table, and it was a girl, we were, I guess, kind of dating, and she brings me there. I have no idea what to expect. And we walk up, and there's a server out front, and they take your order out front before you go in. And she had told me a little bit about it, but I didn't really get the concept. So basically, the entire staff, the wait staff, is 100% completely blind. And so the entire place is pitch black. So you choose what you're going to have, and then you can only choose your entree because the first meal's a surprise, or your app is a surprise. Your dessert's a surprise. You really only know what you're eating with the middle meal. So I choose steak. We get in there, and we're walking in, like this as a little train, and sit down. And it was just so insane that it was completely pitch black. Nothing. Can't say anything. They're coming over with we could bring wine, so they bring us a glass of wine. They bring us bread. And imagine sitting there trying to butter bread without being able to see. So I'm literally sitting there, unwrap it, trying to find my knife. Finally, I'm like, you know what? She can't see me anyway. I'm just jamming it in the butter. I've got crumbs all over myself. She can't see. I'm like, literally, I swear to God, at one point, I'm trying to spoon. I have no idea what it was. It was mushy, and it had to be some vegetables. I think there was kale in there. And I'm trying to eat it, and finally I was like, hell, she can't see me anyway. I'm literally, my left hand is scooping it onto my fork, right hand I'm eating it. So anyway, moral of the story, check out Dark Table if you haven't already. It's freaking amazing. So with that, I'll carry on to the actual meat of the presentation. So my story that may be relevant to you guys is an interesting one, just how I got in the business. So 2008, I was 26. I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. I had a business called the New Perks card. It was like the shape of a business card, and it was kind of like a little mini Groupon type scenario. So I had all these businesses in town, put discounts on the card. You could walk in with this New Perks card and be super cool and get 25% off a bottle of wine, right? So it's just this discount program. Half the money went to charity. For the first time, my family's like, I think you might have something here. This is a really cool idea. They're actually supporting. And so I'm all fired up. I'm going big on this one. So everyone's like, if you want to go big and you want to make this one work where all the other ones that didn't work, you've got to hire an advertising company. You've got to do it right. You've got to build this thing up. So I was like, really? Never thought about that. But I've got some extra cash. I take $50,000, invest it into just advertising for the business, never mind the other startup costs. I hired 4 people. This is not them, but it's to illustrate them. And basically, they're 4 guys technically, and they're like, we have 100 years of experience, 25, 25, 25, and 25. And I was like, all right, that's cool. So what can you do for me? Like, well, we're going to help you build this business and grow your revenues, and it's going to be all the things you want it to be. And I was like, all right, well, I've got a marketing plan. I'll just give you what I have, and let's talk about what you guys can do. So I'm thinking, internet marketing. I'm thinking social media marketing. I'm thinking just, kind of cutting edge stuff. And they come back, and they're like, no, we're going with this thing. We're going TV all the way, 50 grand. And I was just like, really? That's it? That's the big plan? All right. So at one point, they say, we have your best interests in mind. And I thought about that, and I was thinking that the more I advertise, the more percentage they make. So if you really think about it, they should have your best interest in mind. So if I'm successful, they're successful. But what I've realized since then is anytime someone says, we've got your best interest in mind, pretty much buckle your seatbelt because you're probably going to get screwed somewhere in the process. So I end up looking at it and saying, I'm 26, maybe I'm just being stubborn, or maybe I need to get out of my own way. So it's like a lack of confidence thing. So I end up saying, you know what? All right, I'll trust you guys. Let's do it. Plow all the money into the advertising. What ends up happening? It was an epic freaking fail. Lost every single penny I had. I had all these startup costs, and me being the optimistic, ambitious person that I am, thinking that I can always, knock it out of the park, and then, I print 10,000 cards. I have T-shirts still. If anyone wants one, let me know. I've got these little, boxes and boxes of cards, and my girlfriend at the time's like, you think you can sell 10,000? The population of West Hartford's only 65,000 people. That's 1 out of 6 people walking around with your card, including children. And I was just like, maybe I can do it. I can do it. I got this one. This is a winner, So I'm all fired up. So anyway, the advertising derails my business. So why am I sharing all of this? Is because I think that traditional marketing, I think everyone's here, obviously. You all know that Facebook marketing is where we should be at, and that's why you guys are here. I don't need to explain it. But print and TV and radio, all that stuff is just, it's just not working. So the reason I'm explaining that is because after experiencing that personally and thinking about all the business people that are losing all this money advertising with people like them, like these people, these 4 advertising executives that are now probably bums because it didn't work, it was that bad. So it's like, I looked at it as I needed to, figure out how to market better, because I figured as an entrepreneur, I've got to create a skill set, because otherwise I'll just keep failing at businesses. So I was like, I better learn how to market. That seemed appropriate. And I want to be able to help people, actually succeed and create a return on investment, because it blows my mind that someone could put in money and consistently lose on advertising every single month. So that's really what my goal is, and that's what my mission is. That's why I started this business. That's why I'm here, and that's what I'll be sharing with you guys. So basically, my mission from day one has been, how the heck do you take Facebook marketing, which, as you guys probably know, there's a lot of moving parts. That's why this thing's 2 days. But how do you actually make money with it? How do you create customers and clients and do it in a way that's not going to make it crazy? Spending half a day, an hour or 2 hours a day on Facebook, it's tough. It's hard to manage. We're all trying to run businesses. So I'm trying to, the strategies I'm going to share with you guys is how to do it simply and how to actually get customers and make money with it. So fast forward since then, I've helped over 1,200 business owners create a return on investment. I've got tons and tons of case studies. Company like Safeco Insurance, they're like a huge $8 billion company. They've hired us and our staff. Now we do it across the country for their people. So we know how to do it, and I'm going to share with you exactly what we do, and it's all meant to help you guys. So I'm going to try and give you the best I got to help you get some ROI. So we're going to talk about how to attract clients, how to leverage viral reviews, Facebook contests, and how to manage your Facebook in less than 5 minutes a day. So I have tons of respect for Matt. I've got tons of respect for the speakers that are here this weekend. All their strategies, I know Matt very well. I know the strategies. They're all absolutely amazing. This is just kind of one particular route. This is a track that I use. So that's what I'm going to share with you guys. So the backbone of everything that I do is using earned media. So all earned media is it's a fancy, that's what all the cool advertising and bloggers, this is what they call it. But all earned media is word of mouth marketing. And at the end of the day, 9 out of 10 people, according to a big fancy study, trust word of mouth marketing. So at the end of the day, if you look at that and say, all Facebook really is, it's just a different way to communicate. If you really break it down, it's nothing more complicated than it's just a different way to communicate. We can communicate face-to-face at parties. This is just another channel to get your message across. So if we looked at it and say word of mouth is, yes, the most powerful form of marketing, then that's all we really need to create on Facebook. And so everything I'm going to teach with you guys is about how to get people to talk about you instead of you trying to talk about you on Facebook. And I use this strategy with my own business. I use it every single day, every single month. And what's great about it is that I don't have to sell. Instead, when other people talk about you, you attract customers. You attract people to you. And so what this is going to give you guys is an opportunity to get referrals and to work with people that trust you, because nothing sucks more than advertising in something like TV or even on Google and getting customers that have no trust. I mean, you end up working with people that are price sensitive. You've got to convince them, and then you're selling. And I don't know about you, but I would rather not sell. I'd rather have them come to me and want to give me money. So that's the whole plan. So a couple things. I call it being cool. It's earned media accelerators. These are things that you can do that are tangible things that you can increase the word of mouth about your business. So C for celebrity-like branding. O for optimizing your page. I'm sure you guys have covered a lot of that so far today. O for over-delivering every time. And then L for leveraging fan reviews and autopilot. So the first one is what I've found with my business, with clients, is that graphic design is so important. Graphic design and having a timeline cover that just looks good, it's aesthetically pleasing, really changes your perception. And I actually just hired a business coach, and she said in 2013, graphic design is going to matter more than copy. Think about that. And this woman's like big time. I'm paying her crazy money, and so I believe her anyway. But it's like, if you think about that, graphic design being more important than copy, and I personally believe that because when I run ads or I do things, I find that if I just make my design look good, people perceive that I know what the heck I'm talking about. Quick story on that. When I first got started in the business, I ran an ad. And I ran the ad where the first time I did it, I was doing a contest giving away an iPad, and I bought some course about these contests and how to do them, and I really respected the guy that sold me the course. And it said to run an ad with a gorgeous woman holding an iPad, and everyone would want to opt into your contest. So my Facebook page is Nick Unsworth. So here I go, second month in the business, running an ad with my name on it and a picture of a woman holding an iPad. So it should have made sense that wasn't a good idea, but I did it anyway, followed the directions. And what I realized is that I should probably put my own face there because it wasn't working at all. And then when I did, I just changed it to my ad copy to, what do you think about my new page? So I shifted from trying to sell them and using marketing tactics to just unlearn everything you've ever learned about sales and marketing and just be you. Be authentic, be personable, just be you, and that matters so much more than any tactic or marketing skill. And so I was like, screw it, I'll just be me. It was kind of like a rough picture, and my mug on there, and then I said, what do you think of my new page? The one thing that I did right is my actual landing page just looked phenomenal. I mean, I only spent like $150 on it, the guy that designed it, but it looked good. And I got a call. I got a bunch of people that opted in. I got tons of likes. So I was getting clicks for less than 10 cents. And I get a call from this guy, Quincy, in Hawaii. And I'm working out of my second bedroom and stuff. And he calls, and this is my second month in the business. And he calls up and says, I'd like to speak to Nick Unsworth. And I'm like, yeah, this is him. And he's like, I'd like to invite you to be the keynote speaker in Hawaii at our technology conference called Technology News Bites. And I was like, absolutely, that sounds fantastic. How much are you going to pay me? And he said, well, we don't have a big budget. We can only do $1,000, pay all your expenses, but we're going to have a lot of press and a lot of publicity. And I was like, all right, well, I think I can pull that. All right. I was trying to basically, internally, I'm like freaking out. This is my second month in the business. Like, holy shit, this is like a dream come true. And now, granted, at the time, I used to literally, I hate to swear, but I used to just about shit my pants in front of a room. So I was like completely freaked out, nervous, but I was like, I'll figure it out. So he asked me for my media kit, and I said, I'll send it over. Turns out I have no idea what a media kit is. So I get off the phone and then I just start Googling what's a media kit. I figure it out. I put one together, shoot it over to him. And next thing you know, I'm speaking at this event and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like trying to like instead of thinking about what I'm talking about, I'm thinking about like what is going on? Like how am I even here? How does this make sense? And the point of all of that is that, no joke, the graphic design and the branding, that literally is what got me to that stage. And I asked him, why did you choose me? He's like, well, I saw when you market on Facebook, I saw you do something I'd never seen anyone do. Your ads were so different. Shoot, I had a coffee with a guy. I think he's in here somewhere. There he is. You right there. And he says today, he goes, yeah, man, I've seen your stuff around. He goes, actually, I think you ran an ad on Facebook that said Happy Holidays. That was interesting. And I was like, yeah, and it converts like a mofo. I got like, fans for like 12 cents a piece, and it's great because all I was doing is just being like, I think I'm a nice guy, and I was just kind of being me and running the ads. But the point is that when your stuff looks good and you're not trying to market and sell and you're attracting people, it really helps. So your branding and your graphic design is super, super important. Now, thinking about the actual timeline cover, you can see here that I've kind of got my cheesy pose there and a couple pictures with people. I did that because I was trying to brand myself, and these were noticeable experts in the industry, so it's kind of like mooching branding. But the one thing I think that I always have done right is make your message very clear. So if you're going to write down anything that I say, this is probably the one line that I learned with Matt at this Eben Pagan event. It literally changed my marketing business forever, and it's the line, what's in it for me? So you guys right here, hearing my stories, are in the back of your mind secretly thinking, what's in it for me? What is this guy even going to teach me, right? Everyone at every point in their life is thinking, what's in it for me? Why show up here at this event? Why listen to this guy? Why should I pay attention to his stuff? And so what you want to have happen is that tagline on your cover, no matter what your business is, needs to answer that question. And it's super important that it's clear. Think about if you're driving on the road. You're driving like Matt. You're doing like 35 on a highway. You should be doing 75. Kidding. It's the cube. The cube can't go faster.
Dude, I was so fast. You couldn't.
All right. If you're like Matt and you're doing 135, you should be doing 75, and you see your timeline cover as a billboard, could someone just look at it and get what you do? So many times people get cute with their taglines and they try and think of all these cool ways to demonstrate what they do, and no one gets it. So whether you're networking, whether someone's looking at your page, it's got to be simple, it's got to be clear. The more confusion, the less money you'll make, almost in general. So what I like to refer to it as the money equation. So it's very simple. It's who you are, who do you help, and then how do you help them? And I've used a lot of different variations of this. I like to sometimes niche down and focus on just like authors or focus on like, certain companies. But to keep it general for this example, my name is Nick Unsworth. I'm a Facebook marketing expert that helps local business owners get more clients using simple Facebook marketing strategies. So for anyone that could hear that at a networking meeting or wherever, or reading it on my page in the About section, they would understand what I do and how I help them and see the value in that. So just follow that and put that in your About section. Keep it very, very simple. The next thing is creating like a celebrity-like brand. I call it getting anchor clients. So if you think about like a strip mall, like wherever there's a Walmart, they're an anchor tenant, and then you've got like the hair salon or you've got other businesses. So it's the big brand that everyone wants to be next to the Walmart. Everyone wants to be next to the Best Buy. Those are anchors. So it's no different in business where you want to identify who are the anchor clients for your business, how do you get them, and then do whatever you got to do to get them. And the reason's because if you get that one client that has a lot of influence and they write a review about you, or they could just put a status update on Facebook that says, I worked with Matt Astafan, and man, I grew my business by 11% this year. Well, if Matt has someone that owns a dog grooming business say that, versus Matt has someone that owns a Fortune 500 company, which has more impact? Obviously, the bigger company. So think of it this way, that you want to get the most influential anchor clients in your business, and then you want to do a great job for them so that you get their positive word of mouth about your business. So an example of this is I started targeting authors, and I was like, I just basically was like, if I'm going to do this,